Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new fine episode of the UBports Q&A, the UBports Foundation show discussing the developments of Ubuntu Touch and our community's questions and whatever they have come up with as well. So I'm now joined by some legends, or you might almost say. We have tonight with me Marius
Hello.
and Florian.
Hello, guys.
Well, look at that. Isn't that nice? So we are pretty well unprepared, I suppose, but we don't show it because we're professionals. This I would like to take the opportunity again to mention that we have a little Snapcraft revolving blog post up on the snapcraft.io page, which basically shows you how to do snapcrafting on your device directly and bring snaps to Ubuntu Touch and how they can fit into the whole story and the whole system. So please check it out. It's on snapcraft.io/blog. And yeah, if you're interested in doing snapcrafting yourself or would like to maybe even contribute in integrating snaps into the system, please go ahead and check it out. And maybe let's see what we can do. So, with that little thing out of the way, we shall head over to the news, I suppose.
Yes, so I will start with some news that comes from GitLab. What has happening on GitLab the last 2 weeks, or even more for that matter. So some stuff that has gone in is 5G support. Has started to enter. For example, the Lumiri network indicators, and now it has a 5G symbol support, and also the option to enable 5G in the settings page. The one in the settings page is still pending, but it's getting pretty close to merging. No, actually, that has been merged. Never mind. Other than that, there has been a lot of noble fixes and Debian testing fixes that has been coming in from all over the place in all over the code base. There's also been some goodness from Luca to make everything build on PostmarkRS and others for that matter. There's been some changes by bug fixes from Kugi in Lumiri UI toolkit. It's also even more fixes for other distributions. There's more noble fixes, and those are the ones that, like, most of this has gone into making everything work on the newer version of Ubuntu and also on Debian. So there's a lot of these 2 weeks has been a lot of just plumbing through and really getting everything up to date, getting the packaging up to date, getting the code base up to date. So we are finally coming to a point where we can say everything we have in main at this point. Well, I think we are like 90% of it will already build on latest Debian testing and also the latest Ubuntu release that just got released like some days ago.
How about QtMir and the parts of QtMir that used to be branched off into their separate Debian compatible stuff and Ubuntu compatible stuff?
So there is still a split in QtMir, but that's because of Qt 1.0, which has the Mir client, and Mir, and then Mir 2.0, which doesn't have Mir client and only Wayland. So there's still a split there because we will continue using Mir client at least for a little bit, because the work to get Mir 2.0 working on Halium drivers is still a huge task. So that's why we instead focus on getting at an up-to-date base, and then we can do that work, because doing it in parallel, I think, creates too much moving parts, and it's probably better to to release first Noble, and then we can start. Because then after we get to Noble, we have 2 years to next LTS, and we have no like immediately need to do any, like we are up to date at that point.
Right,
Then
right.
we can really look forward. Like, of course we can do it in parallel, but I don't think introducing it to this first release is probably not the wisest decision, because there is already so many moving parts.
Right.
But there is still one thing that still needs to find a solution on other distributions and Debian for that matter, and that's the patch that we have on account service. We have a patch there which allows the grader to access something. I don't remember the specific details here, but that's kind of the last piece that we have for making every part of Ubuntu Touch work on other distribution. But that it is a minor thing. It's not like a critical thing, but it is a quality of life thing.
Right. Well, yeah.
And also when we are on the news side, I will also quickly mention the release of Ubuntu Unity and Ubuntu Lumiri, like a test release that got released by Rudra and his team. That it works for me. It works well. I mean, of course, it's really early and really buggy, but for what it is, and for
setting expectations is important on this one. Please don't put it on your daily drivers as of yet.
Yeah, no daily driver. Even I use it as my daily driver, but I'm crazy.
Me too.
Yeah, so it is, as to say it like this, for a first ever release, I would say it's pretty good.
It's fresh out of the egg.
Yeah,
It's
it's a chicken coming out of the egg. It still can't fly.
Yes, exactly.
But it's really promising, and I think once we start to get things out there, I think the ball will start rolling faster, because there's more eyes on it, more people can try it out, and more people can also help developing easier. It's easier to develop on desktop than it is on phone. So
Definitely. In between, I would like to mention something that is pretty important for some people, and that is, or for many people who use a phone, and that is the call for testing by Lionel, the new contact backend. So this means that I'm gonna copy this link and plop it into chat right now, checking that the URL is correct. This one, and that is the new backend, the new Sailfish OS based backend for making sure that contacts can be synchronized in the system. So that new, basically building on top of what Marty already did in the past, and now we try to revive that and bring it back in and make sure that this finally works pitch perfect and doesn't regress as it was a risk last time, because we don't want to risk our contacts not being synchronized over. We don't want to lose our contacts due to an upgrade. We want to keep them, and we don't want to, but we still also don't want to stay on the old backend anymore. And for now, this is the perfect time to take the opportunity, so to say, to make sure that this works. So please go ahead and feel free to test and help us test the whole scenario, and make sure that this works for everyone, please.
And if I remember from the last time, one of the problems was that after upgrade, which was run on installing the branch, basically, it would migrate the old database into the new backend, and then something happened, and some contacts were, I don't know, duplicated or merged in some strange way. And then the problem was I did this on my daily driver because I didn't expect anything really bad to happen. Yeah, so I screwed up my contacts database quite
Oh my
severely.
God. Were you on Devil by any chance? Of course.
Maybe. The good thing was, however, that the old one. So the problem was I noticed the problem only after a few days, or maybe it was a week already. I don't know. And by that time, of course, I had accidentally added or modified 2 or 3 contacts, not many. Yeah, but you don't remember these actions, and then you realize, oh, something is screwed up. I cannot continue with that development branch. Let's uninstall it again. And come back to the old evolution backend. But then the problem figuring out was the data were still there. So the migration didn't delete the old database on the phone. That was basically the backup after the migration. But which things did I change in the new database, in the new backend? I never really figured out. I just left a backup of this new thing whenever I would come to a point when I was missing a contact, which I never did. But it was for a few days, it was a bit strange. You knew something has changed, you don't know what, you're reverting back to a backup and you don't really find what's missing. And I was thinking always, okay, this will bite me hard at some point, but it did not. So please take care for that. Think about if it's good to install on a daily driver when you test it, and see especially if there are any migration problems occurring, so that then contacts would look different after installing this.
Definitely.
And other than that, this is a very important step also because we want to finally support contact sync to Nextcloud, for example, to alternative contacts providers other than having this on Google on the contacts there. How is it actually called? It's not Google Contacts. Whatever.
Isn't it called something Google People or Google something
Google
nowadays?
your address book, whatever. Yeah. So, well, that was something that was requested for a very, very long time by quite a lot of people across the globe, let's say. So I'm very, very happy to see this popping up here now. That could finally unblock a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And now we talked long enough that everybody could write down the link that is displayed here. So I will hide this again because
Please.
our faces need to be bigger. No, please look in the form. It will be also. Do we know the category where it's inside?
Can't tell it from the URL.
No, we cannot tell from the URL. Topic 100,056. Do we really have 100,000 topics already? Oh, okay.
10,000.
Very good.
Close, but not quite.
So yeah, please help
OS.
testing that.
OS
It would be awesome if that works. I added a small item here that I just remembered. Finally, there is something, because when I'm here, it's also about legacy stuff, right? Because I'm basically legacy already. Big shout out to Muhammad, who finally got Focal working on the Fairphone 2. And we will talk probably about other Fairphone stories today, but Fairphone 2, that's really amazing. I think that it's still worth to work on this old stuff. Some people might just install it to see the difference. If you compare it to 1604 before, is it faster? Is it better? What it's doing? Unfortunately, I don't see that the Fairphone 2 will be a device that is really playing a big role nowadays. But still, I think it's a very, very cool thing, and it even shows that we can bring very old devices to a very new system just by investing enough time. Yeah? And not being thrown back by things that don't work, and working on this for some time. So Muhammad has shown again that persisting and pushing this forward finally yields a success. So thank you very much. And he also wrote that now it's even more close to have also the Nexus 5 on Focal. So let's see how far that will go. So yeah, challenge accepted probably. We would love to see both of these 3 very, very old and legacy devices where a lot of history for Ubuntu Touch was written with them. Yeah, we would love to see them coming forward there.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I remember Mario's Nexus 5 patches in the beginning. That was awesome thing. Yeah. Really,
yeah.
daily stuff was changed and helped and was improving over the time.
I remember
basically, yeah, it's
hacks.
Yeah, it was a bit hackish, yes.
Hey, come on, we are living with libhybrids and things like that that are considered hacks. So, I mean
right.
I mean, it's good hacks. I love that.
Yes, there
really
are good hacks as well.
Yeah. Some of the things on the
Absolutely, yeah.
Fairphone 5, no, on the Nexus 5 were not good hacks.
Oh well.
Very, very cool. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Shall we head over to the experiments, or do you want to add anything to that?
No, for me it's fine. Just wanted to announce that. Check, give a shout out, and
Oh yeah.
remember the good times
Yeah,
for
shout out
2
to
minutes.
Mama. All right, so let's head over to the experiment section, and I'm gonna start with something that I've mentioned the last time, and that is a new browser for Ubuntu Touch. I'm not sure if my battery 0%. It's gonna die in any second here. I'm not gonna show it here, but we have technology at our fingertips, so we have something on the stage. And that is a little sneak peek about the web browser that I'm working on together with a few other people, including Florian, including, I'm not going to mention people that I haven't asked.
Currently, I'm only testing it, to be honest. I'm not developing it. So all the kudos to you guys.
Yeah, sure. Maciek also, and others who have joined the boat. Hey, what is Marius doing here? Why is my face on Marius?
I don't know why. That's weird.
Because it's in this. Oh, I see. Because we're in the same account. I think. I don't know. Back to topic, browsers. So we do have a little video prepared, and this is after fixing the frame rate. You can see it looks very smooth now, very sticking to the finger.
Yeah.
And also something for the UI. As you can see, you can swipe the tab list up. The URL bar is also at the bottom. And just swipe it up and select the tab that you want to select. Then let's see what the WebGL performance looks like. We do have something like the fishies and the blobs tests, the samples that people can run on the browsers. And this looks pretty smooth now. It runs on 60 frames per second and it doesn't only look good, it works pretty well. It's also fully confined now, which means that we don't need the special permissions that the Chromium browsers do have. So yeah, it's like getting all of the goodness of WebKit from Apple and running it, and also people from Igalia working on it, and we get all the benefits and all the bells and whistles for a great browser. And that also includes stuff that we haven't seen before on the Chrome browsers, like, for example, things like GStreamer support, where multimedia is handled by GStreamer. So the same thing that if you read my my overflow posts, I did make a mistake there. We are not using Media Hub in the backend, but we are using GStreamer. So the same thing that Media Hub uses is being used for multimedia playback. That means hardware accelerated video decoding is happening through the OMX, so through Halium. And you can expect, when it's done, you can expect some really good performance here with videos in the browser. And it is pretty much like I'm looking forward to it. I already see someone complaining about something that hasn't been released. Don't do it like it's done in the other browsers. It's not a URL bar if it doesn't show the URL, but the domain only. Yes, remember, it is just a little demonstration. It's nowhere fully finished yet. I'm just showing the capabilities of the browser backend with 60 frames per second now. But in the meantime, things will change, and I do have a pretty nice UI like imagined and made up already. I just need to implement it. For example, I want to make the URL bar just show certain types of information, but not the full URL at the bottom. Only when you tap it will you see the full URL, and you can expect some really good stuff coming up in the future. So, what do you think about this, Florian Marius?
That's
Amazing.
super awesome. It's mind blowing. I put it on my second device because I'm careful now with testing stuff, of course. Yeah. But
Burn
what
before.
so let's step a bit back to Morph browser and its underlying Qt web engine base. And the problem is currently that it's stuck on a version that is, I don't know, probably 2 years old, 3 years. What was the last version when it was updated? 5.14 or something like that from the Qt point of view. But we would need to get Qt 6 running, right, to get the new engine in, and that's not on the menu, at least for Focal now. So
Yeah.
we were kind of stuck with the browser engine for quite some time, and it has some impact on website rendering. So performance is one thing. It has a really good performance, and it's really, really snappy, and scrolling is amazing. But I also can finally, with that, enter some websites that I could not in the last years. Yeah? A few sites that just don't render correctly. They hide some items that just don't work at all. On Morph browser, because the underlying web browser just doesn't understand all of the new gibberish HTML5, JavaScript, whatsoever parts that are coming down from these web pages. And raising compatibility will make a lot of things more accessible. And also those web apps that are kind of stuck because they don't render correctly would work again with that. So yeah, I have really high hopes for it. I don't care if I see a full URL or if it's top on bottom. I would try a browser with URL bar on the bottom, maybe, just to see if it makes a difference for typing and for handling it. But some people say
Also,
that's absolutely good if it's on the bottom. I don't know. Yeah.
Also, we do have the bottom edge gestures, so we should make use of them, right?
Yeah, maybe. So now for the integration of that thing, you basically built a wrap around this, or was that already existing? How does it look a bit? Tell us a bit about the stack.
The folks at Igalia have worked on a little demonstration Qt view that is upstream. So that is in the upstream Apple source code, in the WebKit code, which you can just compile. And I've also found a fork which improves on that, and I've just like tried to pull over those patches into the upstream branch. But I will also probably just fork off like that person did, and make sure that we have an incubation area where we can basically grow the feature set of the Qt-based view or the WebKit-based Qt view, so that we can add stuff like private browsing, more properties that are necessary, more methods and functions that are required for the full execution of what you expect from a modern browser, including some UI things that I want to add, that maybe put an offset at the bottom so that you can have the blurred bottom bar and you can scroll up, and it basically sets the bottom as an offset of the height of the URL bar, so that you can have like blurry effects on the browser window while still being able to reach the most bottom parts of the web page and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to toying with this and making sure that not only toying with this but taking it serious, because I was going, this is not good. This is annoying. This sucks, as you might want to say. And I want to have a better browser support on Ubuntu Touch. So this is why I figured out, well, let's just go with WebKit. Because I'm used to some WebKit browsers, and they are used on more things than just Apple devices. So hats off and kudos to Igalia folks who have been working on this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Marius, do you have anything to add to that?
And I think it's really, really cool. I love the idea of having multiple browser engines and also, yeah, as we said before, not getting stuck waiting for Qt releases, or even in the situation we are in now, where we are reliant on the other parts of this system to be able to operate a browser. That is a bit of a a weird situation. It would be better to just be able to upgrade the browser without needing to upgrade the system at all, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah. So in this case, everything is in a click, and it also builds libraries that are used in the system. It also builds them as newer versions until we are on 2404, so that we
Yeah.
can still benefit of that. Like OpenSSL 3 is in use, and Wayland newer Wayland libraries are there. And I see some interesting message here. Time to replace Morph with Webhunt. Webhunt is the code name, but I do have a good name which is based on someone I know, and I wanna keep it a secret for now. And I also want to keep a secret what the UI is going to look like in the future. But we're going places.
Going places.
Going places.
Going places. I love that.
All right, Marius, I think you have something on your list here of experiments.
Well, actually, I will take one question that comes in here, which is I think the answer is that's we're definitely gonna have the old browser and a new browser, so it will give the choice, and I think that's the good part of it, having choice. I don't see Morph going away because of how integrated in currently. Of course, later on it might be replaced, but there will still be Morph around. You can probably just download it as a click if you wanted to.
Right. Yeah, and the only problem I see is with vulnerabilities being open on the device due to an old browser that we just keep around but don't really support anymore, and we're splitting ourselves in different parts where some people prefer this or that, and all of a sudden one browser becomes old and stale and is vulnerable to things that we can't patch anymore. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah. And also, the thing with Morph is that it really depends on Qt, and also it depends on if, like, of course, if the community want to help out with that, we'll be more than welcome. Then we can have all the browsers, just
All of them.
all of them. Like right now, I think there's three like main ones. There, Firefox, WebKit, and Chromium. But there's also one called Servo, which has gotten really far. It's still a ways off. But to have choice in this area, it is good. But the poor thing is that every website these days are probably developed for Chromium, most of the things, and then the other browsers is trying to catch up with Chromium. So to have that monopoly on Chromium is not a good thing either. So to get away from Chromium, it's probably also a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just downloaded the latest version on my test phone, and it feels a bit weird that the URL bar is on the bottom. I'm so much used to having this on top, that now there is nothing on top. The web page starts on our indicator bar, and I'm looking at this thinking, wow, there is so much room up there suddenly. What's going on?
But think of it this way. Think of it. I'm not trying to convince you, but think of it this way. I mean, we have, as I said already, we have the bottom edge. We should put it to use and keep the rest for the application, right?
No, it's perfectly fine. So I don't think that it's much about a complaint, but you have to get used to it. Yeah, and so
also, how easy is it to reach with their thumbs to places on the browser now?
It's basically you can still hold the thing in your hands, and if you want to access the URL bar, you click with the thumb more. Then you have to move up to do it maybe with your index. But perfect. Yeah, I mean, let's try this and see. It's a new alternative. People will anyways give feedback, and I really definitely recommend everyone to check it out. As soon as you think there is a good alpha or beta version, then pour it into the forum and other places, and people will give a massive feedback. So be prepared, I guess.
And also, due to it being fully confined, I can release it at my own pace without having to annoy people to allow list it for the open store due to it being unconfined. So that is something I can build a release, I can push it out to users, and it's just on their devices then after they press the update button.
You're doing a great job with that.
Thanks.
So
I just wanted to check out. Can I see how big is it? How many megabytes does the click have now? Just to
50.
get a feeling.
The file
50.
itself is just 50 megabytes.
That's nothing actually for a browser.
Right.
Where is all the engine? Where are the parts? Come on.
It's the source code, though. You don't ask me about the source code. The size of
Okay.
it. This is
I know
insane.
gigabytes and gigabytes of stuff.
Yeah.
Great.
browsers have become huge, complex monsters.
Oh yeah.
It
Oh yeah.
is. I remember compiling Qt Web Engine a while back, and it takes like forever.
Mm.
And I think Chromium is probably the worst one of them all because they use their own build tool chain and build tools and whatnot. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what WebKit uses. Uh,
What do you mean WebKit use?
like a build tool like CMake.
CMake. Just CMake. Straight up.
Wonderful. That always annoys me about using Chromium is that they made their own thing, and
Yes.
it's always complicated to get around, fiddle with it.
Oh yeah, and it's got so many switches to flip on, and forgot to list up which features it has. But WebRTC and GStreamer and other things that are also, it has support for OpenXR if you know what that is.
I don't know.
It is basically support for extended reality 3D model functionality with the camera on your basically in front of your face. You can just view around the area and it can place things inside of the virtual reality space.
Oh, that's cool.
But we
Wow.
don't have drivers for that, so maybe it will just, or maybe it does work with OpenGLES. I'm not sure. I will have to check out.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That sounds modern, right? Oh my.
Speaking
Good.
about modern, should I jump to the next?
Yes, please.
So I've been having some experimenting too. It's mostly continuing of what has been done the last week, no, from last week. Most of it has been focused on Fairphone 5. Been working quite a lot on that and getting it to a usable state. And I think now I'm pretty happy with it. There is some changes I need to push like to upstream. I mean to us, but to get it into the image, and there is some device specific ones. But it's starting to look pretty great, and also been working on 5G. My focus has been mostly 5G on the Fairphone 5 these last 2 weeks actually, and also continuation of the WLT, and also been experimenting with Woo Wi-Fi,
Mm.
which is the voice over Wi-Fi. That one is still, I haven't got it to work, but I've been experimenting and see the possibilities. But did also been continuing on the VoLT. I haven't done that much on the VoLT the last 2 weeks. Most of it has been FP5 and 5G, but it's starting to get somewhere, and I hope to get it out to users real soon.
Oh yeah.
That would be amazing too. Though I must say that when I was changing my mobile contract now, and the guy asked me, "Do you want a 5G contract?" and it's only that many bucks more, and I quickly thought about, okay, in the current application, what I'm using my phone for, I really don't have the need for so much speed on data transmissions, and I basically declined for that time being to have a 5G contract. But let's see. So at least I changed it to a provider now that is offering decent 5G, which not all of them do in Austria. But yeah, so I couldn't test it for now. Yeah. I was
I didn't
thinking when I didn't have it, I wanted to have it, and when I had got the option, I was turning it down. I don't know.
I didn't even know that was a thing, because in Norway, like, all plans include 5G. There's no like extra. So I didn't know that was an additional.
Yes, you might be a little bit more, how to say, modern, But
More-
in Austria, it's most about there's a modern feature coming. It's mostly for the nerds who want to have it, and then they try to sell it high. It's just about getting a bit money out of the pockets before they have to mainstream it anyways. At some point, all the contracts will probably have 5G.
Yeah.
Um,
Finding
and
guinea pigs, so to say.
yeah, now the early adopters, they are the ones that are paying for a lot of infrastructure and marketing costs also. Because if you look at the advertisements they're doing for 5G, it's insane how many spots and stuff and newspaper and online we get basically soaked in 5G is here finally. You can get 5G, yeah. And then you come to the store and they tell you, okay, this contract is maybe per month 10 euros, and the other one is 25 euros when you want to have 5G, but it's unlimited, yeah. Come on, I don't need unlimited if I have to pay 2.5 times more, yeah.
Yeah.
but to be honest, I think 25 euros a month is for me, for a Norwegian, really really cheap, because
Wait a second, it was just made. I just made up numbers. I can get
Okay.
the real number for you in a sec. But yeah, it's just about the point. It's a relative offset that is really
Yeah.
high. Yeah.
I think that might be also the reason why in Norway you have everything, because everything is by default expensive. So you're paying for 5G if you want or not.
You're paying for money.
You're paying for money. Like I think to have a limited plan in Norway, it's around 50 euros
Okay.
per month. So it's pretty steep.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, but actually, I found this guy now. I'm not gonna name the provider, but it is a 5G contract for 22.90 euros per month. It has unlimited internet in 5G with 250 mbits down and 50 mbits up.
Is it the unlimited, like unlimited, or is it the Norwegian unlimited, where you get just like 100 gigabytes a month, and they call it unlimited?
I guess
Yeah.
now they have. There was some ruling also because some contracts were really strange, but I think now it's really unlimited. But maybe there's a fair use policy that it means still if you have more than that many gigabytes, then can cancel your contract or something like this. I don't know.
Yeah, it is technically unlimited here in Norway, but they throttle it down so far you can only like check how much balance you have on your credit card or something. That's it. You can't like really browse. But
So actually, the 25 euros was close.
hey,
But yeah,
that's really really cheap, man.
okay. I
Like
appreciate that. Should have taken it.
like I paid that for 1 gigabyte a month. Jeez,
Oh boy.
that's yeah.
Beer very expensive in Norway. Yes, this I also believe.
Well, now the Norwegian kroner is sucks, so now it's not that expensive for you guys anymore. But for us, it's still the same. Still expensive.
All right.
So, well, and also big thanks, Marius, for digging into VoLTE, Wi-Fi, whatever technologies. I guess it's not easy and it's very boring stuff to do, but it's really something that will bring Ubuntu Touch so much forward if we are finally coming to that point. So,
I have to correct. It's not boring actually. I enjoy these kind of trackers.
okay.
Mm.
Yes,
Yeah.
we know actually. That's what
pain.
you're basically famous for. Yeah. No pain, no gain. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh my. But yeah, this sounds really, really promising. When I first saw this video with the call that you posted, I was like, "What is going on?" Yeah? Because for myself, I kind of have given up on this and said, "Okay, we have to accept the fate that this will take forever, meaning really, really years and years to come."
Time for more.
Yeah, come to Austria. Yeah, it's cheaper here, but
Yeah.
but we have
Hey, I
no
have
sea.
some space. I have some room now in the flat. So come over.
You can make a co-locate with Alfred.
Oh
That
yes.
would be probably sick, but cool.
I think there has been like the thing here in Norway where a lot of rich people are moving to Switzerland. So maybe I, as a poor person, can move to Iceland.
Though Switzerland is very expensive too, so I don't think that you gain anything if you move from Norway to Switzerland. Yeah, it's just you don't understand the language and you will never learn the pronunciation correctly. The Swiss German is even hard for us. Yeah?
Yes.
They don't pay taxes on valuables. Or, I don't know what is the English words for that.
Now we're completely derailing the show. In the meantime, while Mario is looking how he can get a millionaire in Switzerland, I guess it's time for the sponsors. It's also a good topic because we're talking about sponsoring Marius to be a rich guy. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my. So,
all right.
There's a bunch of things ongoing here. Is this really the patrons list?
This is
endless.
the real new patrons page. Yes.
Ooh, guys, I'm impressed.
Oh yeah.
There's really a level up of patrons here.
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you going these days? Are we still having the banner here, which basically says, we're gonna donate? Hopefully we're gonna donate. If you want to make a donation, go to UBports.com/donate. And I cannot find the intonation of
it's here.
of Dalton. Dalton had always this nice intonation, yeah. So thank you, Smoothwaller, Pine64, Private Internet Access, DigitalOcean, GitLab, Onestein, OCA, Gardner & Associates Consulting, including Netlify, Cloudron, Code Lutin, Tixia, and Gandhi.net. Very well appreciated.
Okay, let's go over. Yes.
And here we have the banner. Find your name on the ticker. I'm not gonna pronounce all the names in the wrong way, like always.
Oh, someone who refuses. Look at that.
Well, Alfred, go ahead, do your thing.
I'm gonna do it. Okay. A. Thiel, Asmund Kopgang, Boris Flauhaus, Daniel Franchak, David Thiel, J.T. Brooks, Jose Angel Etzcura, Keyboards Holding, Kenneth Drew, Linus Rohn, Lothar Ketterer, Mike Adamitz, Marco A., Michael Kellner, Peter Mack, Philip Spiker, Rakesh PK, Robert Haley, Robin Hood, Rudy Arudi, Spendierhose, Stefan Karp, Stephen Granger, Toralf Sun and Sabine Schwarzer, and Will Atwood. Whoa, look at that. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced your names, but if you want me to permit, or the next one reading them over, you can find us over. Oh, that's the wrong one. Why is that there? Marius, you can find us over ubports.com/donate, and feel free to donate whatever you feel like we deserve as a whole.
Professional streamers would have somebody in the background doing all the management of the stage and the view and the inserts and stuff like that. And here it's just we don't have anyone in the background, so free people have access to the cue cards and to the banners and to the tickers. So that's what happens when everybody clicks somewhere.
That's what happens when you do it semi-professionally.
Yes. But still, I want to have those here. Yeah, come on, more hearts. Thank you, guys.
It's also a delay, so when you press it, and if you press it at the same time, you just turn it off and on.
I also pressed it off and on while someone else was pressing it off and on. That's what happens with the shared resource, right?
We will come back right after this click. We need a break for fighting.
All right. So, thanks a lot. So, we do also have a list of new applications or updated applications this week. And this includes some of the fancier ones. Let me see if I can pull this one out here and put it on the stage. Share the screen. Wait a second. This is you notice we're doing this semi-professional, so
it's live. You see the recording, but it was live at some point.
Oh shit, I closed it. Oh, excuse me. Now I said bad word. Maybe someone else wants to take them. I am pretty much out of my league right now. I closed the tab with the pad.
I can do it.
The tab with the pad.
Okay, so since I'm running Lomeria, I can't share my screen, but I can take them. Yeah, I can take them by by name. So one of the newer apps that are in here is EnterOff, which is an unofficial client for open source authentication app that will let you back up and view you 2FA secrets. That sounds pretty nice. Then we have, I will skip that one. That's
But Alfred, you can share your screen. I'm seeing you're just on the open store page, and maybe you can just focus
Yes.
a few of those.
Yes.
That we could
When
do.
he mentions them, I will try to click them.
Yes.
yeah. You need to sort them by newest.
The newest, yeah, there we go. But I don't know why they're not all. I mean, there are some of them listed, but not all of them.
Yeah, but not newest updated, but newest. It's in German here. I don't understand.
Enter off.
No, newest Aktualisierung. There it is.
It's different in
Okay,
English.
definitely there. Yeah, it's on the right side, a little bit down. Enter off. Enter off.
Oh my goodness.
Why is it different in English?
Because English is different.
Yeah, I just sorted by newest, it says, and then
Okay.
Then we have time series. Record time series on your phone. So this one is basically where you can record different type of activities or work, for that matter. You can time your plumber, how long your plumber takes to change something. It's just pretty nice. I have actually used it myself, and yeah, I kind of like it.
You're timing your plumber.
Poor plumber.
No, not me
Well,
specifically.
Norway is expensive, we heard, so it perfectly makes sense. You
I don't know
charged
why-
me 300 euros, but you spent only 36.5 minutes fixing the pipe.
I'm not going to pay for that.
I don't know why I had that in my mind, but something just came out. I'm not doing that specifically myself, but that was
No,
kind of-
it's fine. Just
And then there is Veggies, which
Wegweis, I suppose.
Wegweis.
Wegweis, probably. I'm not sure now, but all the listeners from Netherlands can correct us. I think it's Wegweis.
Yeah, probably their neck hair just turned up while they heard that.
Anyway, it's an application that shows current traffic conditions and can easily find nearby fuel prices in the Netherlands. Hopefully this comes to other countries too, because this is really, really nice. I don't really. I need one since Norway is all about electrics. I need one to find electric charging points, but that one is really nice.
Mm. Looks really good.
It does. Then there is Stream.io U2 web version. So this is one that you can show Stream.io on your phone. It seems like this is for Focal, yes.
Oh yeah.
Next to that, we have Splider, which is an application where you can split your bills across your friends. So if you go out and you buy something and you want,
That would be cool.
yeah,
Let's try this on the next on-site meetings in Vienna, Alfred.
Oh yeah, definitely. We should.
yeah. And then there is
Pomegranate
also,
kernels.
I think this is an old one that comes back, but this is Wi-Fi transfer. I remember seeing this for a while back.
Good old one, yes.
Good old one, but I think it's been ported to Focal.
Are we sure this hasn't been around for a longer time now? Oh really? Yeah. Well, it's been some time.
This is
Well, you
published.
see, it was published in February only, so yeah, I guess it's a new version.
Yeah.
That's cool, actually. This is one of the real old apps that's there for a long time already.
Yeah.
I'm
that
seeing
was-
Axolotl 2. I'm completely hyped about Axolotl 2. What is
Oh, yeah.
Aaron doing? Is there a new... I hope
Yeah,
it's
he
not a
has been
fork.
working on something.
I hope it's not a fork.
No.
Signal compatible messaging client for Ubuntu phones. Very important.
Axolotl 2, yeah. That one is it's really nice.
But I think with the newest neueste aktualisiert, we have also full circle and the real new things that we should mention also.
Oh, now you messed up the list and we have to start all over again. But here is WhatsWeb.
Stop the stream.
No, actually, now it matches our cue card. Actually, that's the point. Yeah, so
Yes.
that's the right filter that we should have used from the beginning. But anyways,
Trust
let's go
me.
through a few more and let's not annoy our people too much with our unpreparedness. But that's the right filter now.
This filter is the last updated. I think that's
Yeah, that's what we want to go to. There are not many newer ones. They're just most of them have been updated.
okay.
But the one I'm looking mostly forward to is Godify. This looks interesting. Just set up a server and you can send messages and receive messages from a Godify server, which sounds pretty neat.
What is Godify?
I have no clue, but I need to check it out myself.
Your
I
message
just like the name and the icon. I'm
I
a
think
simple man.
I think it's kind of where you can send yourself
self-hosted
texts.
server message, a bit of text. Like, okay, so basically it's your private WhatsApp.
Yeah, it's
be
kind of
blunt.
like if you have an interesting link on your desktop, you can send it to your phone and
I see.
Okay.
A shared memory.
share memory, basically. Yeah.
It's made by Brian, actually. Do you see this? Can you go back again?
Yeah,
on
it's
that
made by
one?
Brian.
Okay, Brian, thanks so much. That sounds cool. I will
Brian?
check it out.
Brian has put out some pretty cool stuff here. Also, full circle on my enemy list.
So for those of you who don't know, Brian is also the guy who is behind Open Store, and
Yes.
we are very grateful for the continuous support by this team over the years and years now. And basically, they're working on their own, updating it. They were following to Focal, making all the support possible to have apps now be aware of the OS version and stuff like that.
Yes.
It was really also good how Open Store developed over the years, and thanks for the effort. And WhatsWeb
right.
is back. I don't know, was it gone?
What was back? What is back?
WhatsWeb. That's basically the web interface.
Oh,
If
yeah,
somebody,
right. It's been updated here recently. So
2019. That's also already there for a long time. Yep,
Yes.
it's back.
Probably wasn't updated for Focal, I would imagine.
Well, it seems like there have been some changes with responsive design so that it works better.
Oh, nice.
Sounds cool. I might give it a shot. All right. I think we should go over to finish this because I think we only have one question here. Oh my God. There we go. We only have one question here, and that is from the forums. So it seems like we're taking way longer than we anticipated, but we should mention them. And those questions, there's actually this one question is by John Doe. Maybe this has not been decided yet, but I would like to hear what would be the most likely scenario for the future. Will the Open Store support mobile-friendly Snap packages in the future? Or will we have an Open Store and the Open Store pre-installed in future Snap Store pre-installed in future releases of UT? Or will the Snap Store completely replace the Open Store? So right now, it seems like we're going with the first approach. I mean, just not setting anything in stone here, but the idea is to have the Open Store app and the Open Store backend search for snaps as well, so that you can install them from your phone using just one application, and that is the Open Store app. So that you can install your desktop-friendly, your mobile-friendly snaps, but also the Ubuntu Touch optimized applications, continue using them as you're used to. There's nothing set in stone here, so things might change, but I think this is a very feasible thing and a really sensible thing here to do. So maybe people have an opinion about this. But yeah. Do we have?
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Yes.
Great.
Oh, we made it to 1 hour of show. That feels actually good.
Oh yeah, It would be funny if I just pressed the end stream button. No, I'm not going to do this not right now. Just on time cut.
Still have 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody have questions, or do we want to say something?
Live chat questions. We're gonna take a few, one or two or three. Be quick. There were some questions, but Fuse Team basically spoiled the chat now, and I have to scroll up way too far to see the questions from before.
We have one here. Can you install Flatpaks on Liberty containers? I think that one will probably be a little bit complicated because of how the containerization and isolation and all that will work. I think it would be easier to have Flatpaks natively on the device.
Yes. But someone needs to do it.
Someone needs to do it. That's true. There has been some work done by JBB a while back. So maybe if someone wants to pick up on that might be a good thing.
Also, there is this question. What does Canonical think about today's UT? I think they like it, and maybe not only like it, but they love it, so to say. And shout out to the Canonical folks who I'm in contact with. So seems like people are aware of what we're doing, and they pretty much approve.
They are very well aware, I guess. And I would say, even though they don't officially comment on any news on their own or commenting our news, if you talk with those people, then you always get this very personal feeling that they are very proud of what we're doing. They're still very satisfied of what they have done, and even though they had to basically kick it out into cold water at some point, I guess some of the people still would love to work with it, and they feel very much satisfied that we continue to work on it and spend our effort, because it proves also the stability of the base, of the original base, without all the problems and stuff they were put on top. But the basic idea and also how the porting was done and all of that was really good. Yeah, so we are now having 2024. If you think about, we started to all of us basically. Alfred maybe came as the last one, but Marius, you started to work on this already 2000. What was it? 14, 13.
Well, I think I started with the Ubuntu Touch in 2012, and then
12, more than 10 years. You're actually around that place, yeah. And I came closer 2015, 16, and so on. But if you see the decisions back then, and there is 10 years of IT life, and we still have that thing around, even though it needs a lot of refreshment now, and the rough road to Focal and to the next distros is maybe also still not very even. There's still some bends and sharp edges inside, but we did it, yeah, and it proves that 10 years is a long time in IT, and I must say I'm amazed, yeah.
And I think from the time we took it over, which was 2019?
No, it was earlier. Wasn't that 17 already? Because they dropped it in 17, no?
Yes.
Yes, it must be, because 1604 was the last thing that they had at this point in time. Yeah, I think it was 17.
17, right, okay.
Mm.
So it's not quite 10 years since we took it over, but it's getting close. And I think as a 10 years celebration, we need to do something really, really special.
Yeah. I guess we need a big community event with nice barbecue and conference feeling and badges, name badges, and people running around. And, let's make it a real nice convention.
Yeah. The UBports convention.
Okay, there is one question. That is a quick one, maybe.
Quick is...
Fuse Team has the answer, basically.
I mean,
there we go.
Yeah, I think that's the best answer to that, yeah. So Fuse says also, I said 12. Wow, I didn't know that. Well, at that point, we weren't really... Well, I took it away. We weren't really all that specific to Ubuntu Touch. It was just when Canonical started experimenting with the idea, and they haven't even released the first version then. And then they had this experiment where they called Ubuntu on Android,
Mm.
which was the other way around, where we had Ubuntu Touch running on top of Android instead of Android now running
In a
on top
container.
in a container. So it has been a what should I say, wild ride.
Mm.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, it started the whole project long before that. Like they started with this Ubuntu on Android, and that comes way before that.
Mm.
But I
Oh, it's
think
been some time. I remember seeing the demo videos of it, demonstrating it, and wow, I was flabbergasted.
yeah, and at that point there was a lot of money poured into it, so it kind of it matured really quickly at that point. Especially when they really committed after 2013 or something like that. That's when a lot a lot changed.
Right.
Last question. It was more implicit, already mentioned a bit, but we can give an explicit answer on that. Oh my, that was the wrong one. That's not a question. That's an answer. That's the question. One of the classic questions that we had over the years.
Yeah. Can we have Flatpaks? And sure, people can have Flatpaks, but they need to work on that first. And we are pretty much busy with other things already. So pretty much, yeah. If someone is working on that, please get in touch with them and help them. Right. Otherwise, it won't work.
So what I think what Alfred is saying is it's technically not impossible, but it's not something that the core team can do at the moment, and so there is no real plan to do it.
Right.
But would appreciate to see it coming, and yeah, it's
Oh,
something
yeah,
that
it is.
can be worked out in a way that's independent actually from other developments. So yeah, it could be something that can be done by another team. Brandon, okay, who is Brandon? I'm not in the.
Someone who works with Postmarket OS, if I remember correctly.
Good man.
Yes, but that's probably for Flatpaks on Postmarket OS or something similar, and not specifically on Ubuntu Touch with hybrid drivers. So, I mean, parts of it might be reusable for something on Ubuntu Touch, though. So,
Could be, yeah.
yeah. Also, Brandon also made a very cool blog post on the website that he's posting, where it's about making sure that there's like keeping information about Lemuri on Postmarket flowing and hyping people up, as I've noticed. So that's cool. I really appreciate what that person is doing here.
Very good. Oh, there's a last one, because we might be able to answer it. Next OTA, when?
Soon TM.
Done.
I mean, a little bit of that was answered in the news here, and we are starting to get the point where we are modernizing a lot of packages, and especially Ratchanan has done a lot of work there, getting all the package up to speed. So we are getting closer and closer, but as it is with these kind of development, there's no like real answer on when it will happen, because we don't really know ourselves. Like, things can happen. It can be a really smooth ride and happen next week, and but it can also be a really bumpy ride and happen in 2 months. So it's this is the thing. It is coming, but at this point we don't know when. And also we don't have right now. We don't really have any full time working on Ubuntu Touch anymore. So Ratchanan is not. It is hired by the foundation, but he's not hired directly to do full time development, more managing and that kind of.
All right. So I think that wraps it up for this episode.
Super cool.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us, and thanks also again to Marius and Florian for joining.
Thank you.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I hope you enjoyed this fine little episode of the Ubuntu Touch Q&A and what we were talking about. If you didn't, well, go away.
We can't help it.
With that being said, thank you for listening and watching, and we'll see each other the next time. Bye.
Bye bye.
End the stream.